So what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Saturn, aka Swagner17, and today I'm bringing you the greatest and easiest defensive scheme inside of Madden 19. And before I start this video, I just want to remind you that these are just suggestions given by someone who's been playing Madden for over a decade. But I'm not saying you must do these things in order to be a god. But in addition to these tips, I'm sure you're going to find your own tweaks and strategies to being successful. So now I'm going to recommend a couple of teams that will make this a lot easier for you. Of course, I like the Saints, and I feel like their defense is really good this year. And also, of course, the Jaguars, the Texans, and the Rams are three of the best defensive teams in the league. All right, now we are going to get into the plays, and believe it or not, I'm only going to mention 3 plays here. And honestly, the first play I run this 95% of my games. Alright, so all these plays are in the Saints playbook, and in my opinion, the greatest defensive play in Madden 19s come from the 46 formation, and the play is cover 3. And I've shown you it right here. Now, just raw cover 3 out of this formation will give average results in coverage and run stop, but with the adjustments I'm going to show you, it turns into an incredible play. So there are a lot of adjustments actually, but just stick with me and you'll learn it very fast. And I'm going to put that on the screen as well, so that might help. So basically, before every play, you're going to press L1 up on the left stick, then L1 down on the right stick. So what that's going to do, it's going to shift your D-line. It's going to shift them, like they're going to spread apart, you know. And then when you press L1 down on the right stick, that is going to crash them or slant inside. So they're going to be spread out, and then they're going to be attacking the inside. And then you are going to, or this is optional, but I do it a lot. You press triangle, then down on the right stick, which will cover the flats. It'll turn the purple routes into light blue routes, which are more effective in stopping flat routes and even runs that are outside runs. And another option is you can guess, or not, this part is an option, but this part is recommended. You guess play with L2, and then you press R1 for QB contain, and you can also guess play pass in addition to QB contain, and that'll just help you out if you know your opponent's going to pass. And it's going to take a couple times to get used to, but repetition equals memorization. And I've been doing this for a long time, so after I choose my play, I can input all these adjustments and still have time to grab a hold of my user and predict what my opponent will be doing for the next play. If he passes, you're golden. If he runs, make sure you're strafing with L2. By the way, I strafe while playing defense literally 100% of the time. Like, there's no reason to not strafe. But yeah, if he runs, you're going to want to strafe and just line yourself up with the ball carrier and never overcommit. Trust your CPU and always go for conservative tackles on running backs. I only do hit sticks against wide receivers, honestly. All right, the other play, sometimes I sneak in Tampa 2, you know, like the cover 2 play, if my opponent is a god and he can throw against my cover 3. Obviously, he'll recognize cover 2 right away, so you don't want to run that too much, but you could just sneak it in there and it might help you occasionally, but it's rare that I use anything other than cover 3. And the only blitz play I run is edge sting. All you have to do to find it, go to play type, man blitz, and you'll see edge sting. It's an easy setup for good blitz. It's not really foolproof, but it's one of the better blitzes in my opinion. The only setup is slant outside on the D-line, so L1 and then up on the right stick, and then position the linebacker doing the sting close behind the defensive tackle. You can blitz you can blitz yourself, like you can be on him and blitz, or you can just place him there, choose the other linebacker, and lurk around the field. Now, speaking of lurking, you always want your opponent to feel the need to pass the ball because this is where he is most susceptible to mistakes. Now, I hope everyone has knowledge of user controlling skilled positions such as linebackers or safeties, because usering is an art. You have to bait your opponent into making him do what you want. It takes a lot of practice, especially since it's different in Madden 19. I mean, at first I thought the game was broken because I would hold triangle after the ball was thrown, which is what you always did previous Maddens, and I wasn't getting any animations for interceptions until I learned that you do not hold triangle until right before the ball gets to you. And that's how you're going to get the user lurks. And if you aren't usering and you just click on, the same thing. You need to time it right. If you do, you'll get the perfect timing user pick pop-up. And if you click on immediately after the ball's thrown and hold triangle, you'll find that you're just going to get mossed, and you're going to rage, and you're going to think the game's broken like I did. Another thing, you want to trust the CPU in this game. I think the CPUs have been buffed a little bit in Madden 19. They actually do their job for once, and they will get some nice picks, which is a great relief this year. And while it takes a lot of practice to get good at usering, I found that in addition to playing yourself and practicing, an easy way to get better is just through watching others do it. So just go ahead and watch the users I've showed in this video, and I hope they'll help you understand how it's done. Alright, so that's it. Basically a one-play defensive scheme, and this really does work. I'm currently on a 9-win streak online, and like I said, I run a cover 3 99% of the time, and my users are godly, but that's from years and years of experience, so if you're brand new, you might not have as much success. So, I hope you did enjoy this video, and I hope it did help you out. If it did, I want you to go ahead and leave a like, and also please subscribe to the channel. That would be legendary. And until my next video, deuces.